let's begin. We have limit as x approaches negative infinity of 5x to the 8th minus 2x cubed plus 9 over 3 plus x minus 4x to the 5th. First step is to identify the greatest degree in the denominator. That would be the 5th degree. So we're going to multiply the top and the bottom by 1 over x to the 5th. So I have limit as x approaches negative infinity. Now I'm going to distribute the 1 over x to the 5th. We'll get 5x cubed, and then we'll get minus 2 over x squared plus 9 over x to the 5th. On the bottom, we have 3 over x to the 5th, and then x times 1 over x to the 5th will just be 1 over x to the 4th. And then the negative 4x to the 5th times 1 over x to the 5th. The x to the 5th will cancel. We'll just get negative 4. We know that 2x squared, 9x to the 5th, 3x to the 5th, 1 over x to the 4th, these will all go to 0. So I'm left with limit as x approaches negative infinity of 5x cubed over negative 4. Here, I know that x cubed, or let's see, negative x cubed will look something like this. And really, multiplying it by 5/4 just scales it, so this really, it doesn't change much. So I can just pull out the negative 5/4 here. Or actually, we'll pull out the 5/4, just the 5/4, and we'll just have limit as x approaches negative infinity of x, negative x cubed. So this is just y equals negative x cubed. So as x approaches negative infinity, so as we go this way, negative infinity, y goes to positive infinity. So our limit then is infinity. Okay, let's move on. Let's look now at limits to infinity, but with under radicals. So if we have limit as x approaches infinity of the square root of 8x squared minus 3 over 2x squared plus x, I'm going to be looking in the denominator to see what is the biggest degree of the exponent, and that'll be the x squared, so that'll be the x squared here. I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 1 over x squared. So I'll have limit as x approaches infinity. Now the 1 over x squared is going to distribute to the 8x squared. That's going to give us 8. And then minus 3 over x squared over the 1 over x squared is going to distribute to the 2x squared to give us 2. And then we'll have x over 1 over x squared will be 1 over x. The 3 over x squared and 1 over x will go to 0. So we'll be left with square root 8 over 2, which is a square root of 4, and that's just 2. So our limit is 2. Let's say we have limit as x approaches negative infinity. Now this will be under a cube root. We'll have x squared plus x minus 1 over 8x squared minus 3. And that'll be cube root of that. I'm going to find the greatest degree of the denominator, and that'll be the x squared. So I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 1 over x squared. So I have limit as x approaches negative infinity. 1 over x squared times x squared. The x squareds will cancel, so I'll be left with 1. And then we'll have 1 over x squared times x is 1 over x, and then that'll just be negative 1 over x squared over 1 over x squared times 8x squared will just be 8, since the x squareds will cancel. And we'll have negative 3 over x squared, and then all that cube root. We have limit. Actually, before we do the limit, let's look at the pieces. I know, let's see, 1 over x squared, and 3 over x squared will all go to 0. So that will leave us with the cube root of 1 over 8, and that will just be 1/2. So my limit is just 1/2. Next, let's look at 5th degree. If we raise everything to the 5th degree, but what happens when the numerator is greater, the degree of the numerator is greater than the degree of the denominator? So we have 1 minus x cubed all over x squared minus 7x, all raised to the 5th power. I identify the highest degree of the denominator, which is just x squared, and I can multiply everything by 1 over x squared. So I have limit as x approaches negative infinity. Now the 1 over x squared multiplies the 1 to give us 1 over x squared, and the x cubed over x squared will just be x, over x squared times 1 over x squared is 1. 7x over x squared is just 7 over x, all raised to the 5th power. 1 over x squared is going to go to 0. 7 over x will also go to 0. So if I rewrite this, I have limit as x approaches negative infinity. We have negative x to the 5th power, and we can simplify negative x to the 5th. Well, we can think of it as the 5th powers distributing to the negative and the x. So you can kind of think of this as like negative 1 times x to the 5th, like that, which will break it up to negative 1 to the 5th times x to the 5th. And negative 1 to an odd power would just give us a negative. So this will just be negative 1 times x to the 5th, which is negative x to the 5th. So we can have negative, now limit as x approaches negative infinity of x to the 5th. We know x to the 5th kind of looks like a x cubed, something like that. As x goes to negative infinity, so if we move along this way, y goes down to negative infinity. So I have negative. Now this limit inside, we said it goes to negative infinity. So 2 negatives will make me a positive. So my limit goes to infinity. Okay, last one. Let's look at a similar one. We have limit as x approaches now positive infinity. And instead of raising it to the 5th power, we'll just do the square root. So we have x squared minus 5x over x cubed plus x minus 2. I first identify the highest degree exponent in the bottom. That'll be the x cubed. So I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 1 over x cubed. And that's all happening inside the square root. So I have limit as x approaches infinity. Now I'm going to distribute the 1 over x cubed. So it'll be x squared times 1 over x cubed is 1 over x. And then 5x over x cubed is 5 over x squared. Over x cubed times 1 over x cubed is 1. X times 1 over x cubed is 1 over x squared. 2 times 1 over x cubed is just 2 over x cubed. So this is all under the square root. We see that 1 over x goes to 0. 5 over x squared also goes to 0. 1 over x squared goes to 0. And 2 over x cubed goes to 0. So this is just square root 0 over 1. And our limit is just 0.